Hello, and welcome back to this week's episode of Shark Tank. I'm your host, Ayrton Kim. And now, before we begin with this very special episode, I have a question to ask you guys. What would it take for you to turn down a very high-paying job offer? Now, I don't have the answer to that. I love money as much as the next person. If in any other networks out there hiring, want to offer me more than this company, um, just say, contact me. Now, I may not have the answers. You guys may not have the answers, but today we're in luck. Because today we find Carlee Colson in this exact situation. She has multiple offers, including one from Forcom with a higher salary and signing bonus, but money to her is not the only factor. She is also thinking about career growth, business development opportunities, leadership potential, and long-term security. Not gonna lie, those go in my head and not the other. I'm all about the money. But lucky for you guys, today we're going to look at this negotiation as a Shark Tank pitch from one party to another, one party to another. Our candidates today are Carlee Colson, as mentioned before, and Jack Bechtel, the hiring manager at Robust Routers. We will be looking at their offers, their interests, their leverage, and their key negotiation issues. And after that, we will see how this preparation that each party has put into their negotiation plays out in real time. And after those negotiations end, we will have our shark, Adam, step in and evaluate whether the final agreement was actually a strong deal for both sides or lopsided in one side, or if overall it was just a bad deal. So let's now enter the tank to see whether R&R can make an offer to Carlee that'll keep her from swimming away. All right, now that we're in the tank, let's meet our two key players in this negotiation. First, we have Carlee Colson. Carlee is an MBA student and a former R&R intern, and someone with multiple job offers on the table. She is especially interested in business development, career growth, and strong compensation. Because she has other options, Carlee enters the negotiation with real leverage. Now, on the other side, we have Jack Bechtel. Jack is a product manager at R&R and the hiring manager for the terabit router division. He wants Carlee specifically because she already proved herself during her internship. However, Jack has to balance Carlee's requests with company policy, budget limits, and fairness to other employees. Now let's look at the offers. The R&R package. The R&R offer includes an associate production manager position. This offers a $96,000 salary. Wow, might be making more than me out of college, just saying. But I'm not jealous. A $15,000 signing bonus. Wow. And a 5,000 relocation package and 1,000 stock options of R&R. R&R also offers long-term advancement opportunities and the possibility of moving into business development later. Now, but Carlee is not only considering R&R. She has an offer from Forcom. Forcom has offered her a product manager role in business development with an 111, sorry, I started over my words because that number is so big, but $111,000 and a $20,000 signing bonus. Now, to me, that already sounds a little more enticing. She also has a startup offer with a similar salary to R&R, but significantly more stock option. Now, this is where the tension begins. R&R has a strong reputation and long-term growth potential, but Carlee's competing offers give her bargaining power. So now let's look at our interests of these two players. From Carlee's perspective, this negotiation is way more than just about money. Not gonna lie, Carlee, might not agree with that. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. She wants a role that connects to business development, not just the technical product. What does that even mean? Management, not just the technical product management track, you know? She also wants leadership opportunities. These opportunities, I don't know, career development, career advancement, and competitive compensation and long-term security. Now, those are all very, very important factors when dealing with a job. I could be here this week, be fired the next week, should have discussed that with my hiring manager at the time. But you know what? We live and we learn. Her biggest concern is alignment. Carlee is asking herself, does R&R offer the future she wants, Or is another company a better fit for her career path? Jack, on the other hand, has completely different interests. Well, I wouldn't say completely different. There's some common ground, but he wants to recruit Carlee successfully and fill an important staffing need quickly. The terabit router division needs strong talent, and Carlee already understands R&R from her internship experience. That makes her a valuable candidate. However, Jack cannot simply give Carlee everything she asks for. He has to protect company policy, manage the budget, and avoid creating a precedent where every new hire expects the same concessions. So Jack's challenge is to make R&R attractive without giving away too much. So let's look at the leverage and bargaining power of these parties. Every deal comes down to leverage, and this negotiation is no different. Carlee's leverage comes from her strong internship performance and her outside offers. R&R wants her, but Carlee does not need R&R. Her 4Com offer and startup offered to make her a strong negotiator. Jack's leverage comes from R&R's reputation, market position, and long-term opportunities. R&R may not match every competing offer, but it can offer stability, professional development, and future advancement. Both sides have power, but neither side has complete control. That means the best outcome will likely come through trade-offs. Now we get to deal points. The main issues include job title, salary, signing bonus, relocation assistance, stock options, assignment to business development start date, and a possible guaranteed bonus. Now, wow, if you ask me, it's a lot of things to think about. These are pieces that Carlee and Jack can trade. For example, if R&R cannot fully match 4Com salary, it may offer a larger signing bonus, a clearer path to business development, or faster performance review opportunities. The key is not to treat every issue separately. A successful negotiation looks at the full package. The questions driving the negotiation. Now, this is our final slide before we step into the big leagues over there. You don't have to deal with me anymore, me and my annoying voice. But the negotiation is shaped by very important questions. For Carlee, these big questions are, can R&R improve the compensation? Can she receive the product manager title instead of just the associate product manager? Can she move into business development sooner? And most importantly, should she choose R&R over 4Com? Who knows? And for Jack, the questions that he wants to be asking the most, the questions that he needs answers to are, can he convince Carlee to join R&R? How much flexibility should he use? What concessions are worth making? And can he close the deal without violating the company guidelines? These questions show that both sides are trying to protect their own interests while still finding a possible agreement. Well, I just got the message. It seems like both Jack and Carlee are almost ready to be entering into the tank. So now that we've analyzed all their preparation, let's see how they both do in the Shark Tank.
Okay, so we are here for a hiring negotiation. Carlee, we're really excited that you're here. This role that you're seeking out after has high visibility with the CEO watching, and we really want you to be a part of this team. For my offer, of course, we have to negotiate what looks like the salary, the bonus, the relocation, and a couple other things. So I would like to start this off by saying, given your experience, we would like to go for the role and give you the role of assistant product manager. Okay, so that's where we're gonna go with. I'm gonna offer $96,000 as a salary, a bonus of 15,000, and a relocation of 5,000.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys having me here today. I really enjoyed my internship experience learning directly from you and the team, and I'm looking forward to, negotiating this offer to hopefully continue our work together.
Mm,
And I'm really interested in joining your team because I do feel like long term I have the most growth opportunity among the companies that I've been considering.
mm,
But there are a few aspects of the offer that I would like to discuss and see what your flexibility is.
sure.
So, one of the biggest interests that I have has always been within business development. And I noticed that the offer, like you mentioned, is for the associate product manager. Is there any flexibility regarding the assignment?
Well, first of all, that's a good question. Right now, we need someone who is assistant product management. We feel like with your experience and your internship that would most likely be good for assistant product management. We don't necessarily need someone for business development, but if you do want to seek that out later, once you join the company, I will be more than happy to help you achieve that role. But for now, we're going to stick with assistant business product management.
Okay, yeah, I totally understand. Is that something that we could maybe write in the offer or the contract that we sign to have like a formal review, maybe at 6 months of my work term, and then review from there whether that's something that, is in your needs and something that I can then move into given my experience?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, we could do something like that. Probably a little more than 6 months to be realistic. Probably more like 1 to 2 years, just because you need to really move up into that role. 6 months might be a little bit too soon, given your experience, but we can definitely sign something up for maybe 1 to 2 years later down in the path, and we can rediscover that option later.
Perfect. So awesome. So we can have that written. Maybe how about we do like a formal review at 1 year, and then if I'm ready for it,
Hmm.
make that transfer. And if not, then we can review again once I've gained even more experience.
Yeah, that sounds great. Absolutely.
Perfect. And then, so the other, I guess, question I had along with that is the title.
Mhm.
So, given the assignment of being in business development, or sorry, I'm not being in business development, being in
Right.
product management,
Mhm.
is that something that instead of being the assistant product manager, I could be the immediately have that product manager title?
So immediately for the product management title, for our policy, you would need to be there first to rank up into that title. We could do that title theoretically, but you would earn less money given your experience. Right now we're offering 96,000 again for associate product manager. If you were to go for just product manager, then you would be at 88,000, which doesn't sound too ideal when I look at it, and probably not too ideal for you, but that is our policy and that's the best we can do for that.
I appreciate your willingness to consider the product manager title and your transparency as far as the salary goes. However, from my perspective, since the title and level have a significant impact on future bonuses, stock options, and as well as those growth opportunities with the business development, like we talked about, that is something that I do value.
Now, before we get any further, the bonuses and all the rest of the stuff, those will come with associate product management as well. So on top of the 96,000 that you're already earning, you will earn more given that title that you are going for right now, associate product management, rather than just normal product management. It'll take longer for you to earn that money that compared to the assistant product management role. So, I mean, that's really a decision for you if you want less money, if you want more money, but you can always work into the product management role once you join the company, and then you can earn that money later. But for now, we think it's best that associate or assistant product manager would be the best role for you in terms of money and bonuses and all the rest of the things.
Yeah, I totally understand. I do have a competing offer that is offering me a higher salary, starting off, giving me that immediate business development role and the product manager title, as well as higher signing bonus and relocation package.
Hmm.
And, like I said earlier, I do value your company with the growth opportunities that I do have in the future. However, obviously, this offer is more appealing at this point in time. So, I guess what is your flexibility regarding the salary, the signing bonus, and the relocation package, given that we can't immediately move into that business development role and project manager title that they're offering me with the other higher salary and bonus and everything?
Yeah, so of course, there's definitely a little bit of flexibility we can do on our part. Again, for new hires, we have to keep in mind the policy of the business, and we can't give that much money away that quickly. However, we can increase some of the things like salary, bonus, relocation. I originally said 96,000, 15,000, and 5,000 for relocation. We can up that a little bit to 100,000, 16,000 bonus, and a relocation of 7,000, if that sounds good.
Got it. So just to confirm, sorry, it was the 100,000 salary and then
Yes.
it was 16,000 for a signing bonus.
Mhm.
And what was the relocation package?
Relocation package should have been 7,000, I believe.
7,000.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you for repeating that for me.
Yes.
So with the salary, that is obviously something that is important to discuss. And so with that alternative offer I have, they are offering me 111,000 with the $25,000 signing bonus and the full relocation package.
Mm.
So I do appreciate your increase in those things and showing that you value having
Sure.
me as an employee as well. I do know that you are looking for someone to start pretty soon. If I was gonna take some time off and travel after graduating before coming to start my career job, however, if I am willing to start early when you need, is that something that we can maybe increase the signing bonus as well as the relocation package since it will be less time that I have to get my move and all of that going underway?
Sure. So, well, let me say this first. For the start date, we need someone by June 1st. And you did say, I did see in the application that you needed time off because you're traveling Europe. We could give you until the middle of June, if that sounds good. June 16th, maybe. It's a whole 16 days more than, or 15 days, 16, 15, more than June 1st. That should be a good enough amount of time. As for the salary bonus and relocation, we can't increase that. But what I can do is we can add more stock options to increase the overall pay to make it more worth it. So we could give you 20% for stock options. Start there in reference to the bonus and relocation. Let me know what you think about that.
So I do appreciate the movement that you made, and the 20% stock is definitely very appealing. Obviously, I want to grow with the company, so if they're doing well, then that means I'll do well.
Mhm.
And I think we're definitely getting closer to a deal. Is there any flexibility in the signing bonus at all? Again, moving that date sooner, if I am able to start earlier in June and not take the time off that I originally had wanted to take?
So for the signing bonus, what we are offering is considered more generous for a student who's just coming out of business school, which is you. We believe that 16,000 is a great option for a signing bonus, but we could be a little more flexible. I'll give you this one. We can bump it up to 17K instead of 16K. In terms of starting later, we would probably keep that around June 16th, considering we do need someone to start around June 1st, and the 16th should be enough time from June 1st. But yeah, we can definitely up the bonus to 17,000 instead of 16,000 if that works for you.
Is there any way that we can get it to match the other offer that I have at 20,000? I know, like you mentioned, I am coming out of school, but I do think, with my internship experience, I performed well for the team. So it does show that I'm not just any MBA student coming out of school. I do work hard and, like I said, am wanting to work for your team.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally understand where you're coming from, but we do need to value the people who have worked here longer. And for new hires, this is considered a lot. We could up the stock option to 22% to match the bonus to make it better a little bit. So now we're at 100,000, 17,000 for the bonus, 7K for the relocation, starting on June 16th with a 22% stock option. Would this work better to up the bonus a little bit?
I do appreciate flexibility throughout this discussion with the written review for business development as well as the accelerated review for the product manager title, increasing the salary, relocation support, all the stock options, everything, all the concerns that I had. I do Just want to ask for the relocation. I know you have the $7,000. Is it possible rather than doing like a set amount covering like just moving expenses in general, storage and transition costs?
So we can't do that, unfortunately. That's all included in the relocation price. I originally did say 7,000, and I get that you're a college student coming out of school and you need all this stuff moved around. This would be my final flexible offer for you. We could bump it up to 8K if that works for you.
Mhm.
But after that, we can't really bump up the relocation anymore because we do need to take into account that you are still a new hire and this is considered a lot, and we were being very generous. Although we do understand your concerns, we're going to cap out at 8,000 on our end. Would this be all right with you?
Yeah, that's definitely something I appreciate, especially you recognizing, I'm sure at one point you understood being a college student is,
Yes. No, I totally understand.
hard. But
Mm,
yeah, I think, like I said, I do really appreciate flexibility and you showing that you value having me as an employee
mhm.
again. And yeah, I think that is something that we can make a deal on.
All right, let's do it.
Awesome. Looking
Perfect.
forward to starting with you.
I look forward for you being here.
So.
Thank you for your time.
Well, now that the negotiation has been finished, it's all what we've been waiting for. It's time for our shark Adam to either tear them apart with his jaws or tell them that did a good job. Now, enough of me. Let's head over to Adam.
Hello and welcome to the Shark Tank negotiation debrief. Today we're going to examine a negotiation between Carlee and Jack. First, we're going to set the stage, analyze the power between these two people, review their moves, close the deal, and examine lessons learned. But first, would you take a $111,000 offer or negotiate for your dream job? Would you take the money or the dream? Carly's strongest move was her optionality. She had high leverage. Between the four common startup offers, as well as her strong RR performance as an intern. Jack, on the other hand, had moderate leverage. He could use his company, and he had other candidates available. What separated him from Carlee is that he needed Carlee quickly. He was in a vulnerable position, but he did well. One important point about this negotiation is Carlee's BATNA, her best alternative to negotiated agreement, and she could use this to leverage a higher offer. In one study, they found that negotiators could negotiate confidently when they had alternatives. Key move number one for this negotiation was anchoring. It's where you set the starting point that influences future bargaining. Jack anchored at 96,000. Carlee countered with her BATNA at 111,000, and they came together at a $100,000 offer, a six-figure offer. Jack set the starting point. Carlee's BATNA was hard to defend. In one study, it was found that first numbers influence outcomes, so set the anchors away. Key move number two is strategic concessions. The salary went from 96,000 to 100,000, the bonus from 15 to 16K, relocation from 5 to 7 then to 8, and stock options from 1,000 to 20% and to 22%. Carlee was specific about her alternatives. Jack used firm, small moves. Both protected their credibility. Key move number three was log rolling. This is where you trade issues that matter less for issues that matter more. One study found that there were better outcomes from trading multiple issues instead of fighting for one issue. Carlee valued career fit, travel start date flexibility, relocation support. Jack valued quick acceptance, policy limits, staffing for the router launch. And together, they created value. They decided on a role review after 1 year, stock options, and relocation coverage. This solved more than salary alone. And the final close was a $100,000 salary offer, $16,000 signing bonus, $8,000 relocation, 22% increase in stock, and a 1 year review on the business development path. Carlee got a stronger total package, and Jack closed the priority hire without blowing up his company's structure. Carlee's best moves were she used her alternatives, focused on career fit, asked for improvements. Jack protected company limits, made gradual concessions, added stock and role review. In my recommendation for future negotiations going forward, prepare your BATNA and your walk away point, your best alternative to negotiated agreement, Negotiate multiple issues, trade lower cost items for higher value priorities. This is log rolling. And do not divide the pie, redesign it. They started with a compensation gap, but closed with the career growth package. Carlee claimed value with her BATNA. Jack created value with trade-offs. The deal worked because both sides solved real interests underneath their positions. Thank you for watching. Until the next time, God willing. Let's get rich. Thank you. Back to you, Ayrton.
Well, it seems like after Adam's evaluation, both parties have seemed to agree. I'm glad that we were able to take this opportunity to help both Jack and Carlee with their dilemma of either taking a higher paying job or sticking to something that ha offers more factors, more benefits. Once again, I'm your host, Ayrton Kim, and thank you for watching.